Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can already see from like the title of the video, today we're going to be doing a mukbang. We're going to randomly be talking about 5 things I learned this quarantine, and I'm just going to run through them with you. So today's going to be interesting because I have a very bad habit where I can't eat if I'm not watching something. So I'm breaking my rule for this video and I'm going to eat and talk to you guys and just with you guys. So let's get right into it, okay? I have coconut rice, egg fried rice, and some beef curry, chicken, then fruits. That's some leftover banana bread with cup yogurt, and yeah, I have blended orange juice. I actually squeezed the orange and squeezed them myself. So yeah, everything here was made by me, and yeah, that's what we're using for today's mukbang. Okay, so welcome back. Let's get right into it. Number one thing that I learned this quarantine is that later is a myth. So you know how we always say like, I'll do this later, I'll do that later. I cook for them. Oh God. My hands are blessed. I have what? I have anointed fingers. Oh my goodness. This is so good. Anyway, so back to the gist. You know how when we're doing stuff, we'll say we'll do it later. So the first couple weeks of quarantine, I had goals and I had plans, and I said, you know what, I'm going to work out, I'm going to be more productive. I started work on a new book. Some of you are new and you don't know that I'm an author, but yeah, I'm an author, and I already have like a published book. So I was working on a new book. So I had all these plans, right? I set reminders. I set did a whole plan. First week, I'll look at my plan. I'll be like, I'll do it later. I'll now start watching Netflix. That's how K-drama now. I was watching. Then at some point I had exams, so I had to stop. But like when I was done with exams and I said I was going to do things with my life, later never came. Procrastination is real, and it occurred to me that if you do not have discipline about some certain things, if you're not disciplined enough to go through with things, you'll never really get to the end of it. You'll never do it. Later is a myth. You see that thing I will say we'll do it later. Later will never come, and you'll never do it. So whatever it is that you've been procrastinating, do it now. And I don't know. I mean, there probably is a hack for procrastination. I just don't have it yet. By the way, let me do the plastic spoon because sometimes I'm too lazy to wash plates. And I'd rather use the plastic spoon and trash it. Okay. Anyways, back to my gist. Number 2 thing I learned this quarantine is that burnout is real. You need to rest. Your body deserves rest. You owe it to your body to rest. About 2 weeks ago, I thought I had coronavirus. I kid you not. I woke up, I was running temperature, I was shaking, I was shivering all around. I told everybody I knew that, wait, I think I have this virus. I was so sure. I had body pains. Everywhere I had read about the symptoms, they said, you have pains in your body, have fevers and all of that, cough, dry, this thing, and I'm asthmatic. So I was really scared. I was like, oh my God, is this how I'm going to die in a foreign land? I live alone. Nobody's here. Who's going to help me? Who's going to be there? Who's going to take care of me? I was panicking. Like, I was legit panicking. I was so sure. I was so sure that, yeah, today, this is the time I will die. But to tomorrow, I don't know if maybe I really had it or not. Because I never got tested or whatever. But I say this to say that around that period, I hadn't been sleeping. So I normally have insomnia every once in a while. So I used to take drugs for it, but then I stopped because I'm trying not to be addicted to them. So anyways, I stopped taking the drugs. So at this period I wasn't sleeping. I was working back to back. There was no sleep. So I started a remote internship around this period as well. So I'm working, I have deadlines, I also have schoolwork, I also have you guys, YouTube, I also have my blog. And you remember how I said I was working on a book? So I was doing so much at the same time, and I forgot that my body needed to rest. And so I was just hustling. And I feel like there was this particular day I don't want to say that I slept off. I shut down. Like, it was the middle of the day and I just shut down. Why? Because my body took the rest that I needed. I wasn't giving my body the rest that it needed. My body took it by force. So you don't want to get to that point where your body demands rest, where your body now starts to take rest by force, where until you're sick and unable to do anything, you now give yourself rest. You don't want to get to that point. You don't want to be the person who doesn't rest when they need to rest. So please, I beg of you, take rest every once in a while. Now nobody sends me. I take breaks. They say I'm not doing well with the breaks, but I'm trying. I do take breaks. I give myself a timetable. So from so to so I work. At this point, I rest. Maybe try to eat something. Try to do something else. I try not to do too much at once. Yeah, so I take rest. Number 3 thing that this quarantine period taught me is priorities, in the sense that your actions show where your heart is. Your actions show what's important to you. Let me even gist you guys a story. So in secondary school, I went to boarding school. It was in Shagamu, it was in Ogun State. It was a village. It was the absolute ghetto, but we bless God, I survived. I made it out. Anyways, so what was I saying? Yes, in secondary school, there was this night where we're normally 4 in a room, so it's like 2 bunks, so there's 4 people in the room, and there was a fire outbreak. So there are 4 rooms in a, let me call it a flat, in like a hall. So like in like a flat, there's like 4 different rooms, and then 4 people in each room. So 2 bunks. Anyways, so there was a fire outbreak in the room ahead of me. Do you know, the whole place was hot. Everybody ran out. I was sleeping, so they woke me up like fire, and I ran out. I got outside and I started screaming, my teddy bear. Now I'll have you know that in my secondary school again, like I said, it was the ghetto. It was intense. So teddy bears were contraband, and that was the only contraband I was fine taking. So I never really took contraband. I never really did contraband in school. I was such a goody two shoes. I don't know if I regret it or not, but I didn't do contraband or anything. But you see that teddy bear, it was very important to me. And I remember there was a fire outbreak and I ran because like, wait, my teddy bear. So I ran in to get it. And I remember people looking at me like, what's wrong with this girl? How would fire be burning and you're running to save a teddy bear? Now that I think about it, I think about the fact that if anything happened to me, is it teddy bear of how much that I ran for? But at the time, it was priority to me, and it should. So I mean, in this period where it felt like the whole world was burning, it felt like everybody was anyways, I cook, my God, hey my Lord. Anyways, it felt like it felt like the whole world was under attack, and it revealed to me what my priorities were, what things were important to me. So quarantine taught me that, helped me see what was most important to me, helped me align my priorities, because in the end, yeah, it is what it is. Number 4 is consistency. Now let me just, you guys, remember how when I was talking about burnout, when I was talking about the first thing about procrastination, I said how I started working out. So I started this Chloe Ting's workout. By the way, brah, it works. See, I can vouch for Chloe Ting. It does work. So I did it it was like a 2 weeks thing. So like for the first 2 weeks ish, I was really consistent. I was doing it like every day. I started to see results. Like I started to actually see lines on my tummy. Best time of my life. It was so good that like I turned to my friends and they were like, oh my god, I'm seeing results. So I got really psyched. And then I stopped, right? Also with like even my devotion. I remember the first week of quarantine, I got like a new Bible. Okay, I didn't get a new Bible. I got a new devotion now, right? And I was like, I'm going to take my quiet time seriously. I had set a time. I said, I have all this free time. I'm going to pray for longer hours. I'm going to study for longer hours. But because I wasn't consistent, I wasn't disciplined enough to follow through, at some point, my study started to suffer. And so what happened was the fact that I'd wake up, I would go through my day, and I would end the day and I would realize that everything was still the same. So it was like I thought that this time was going to give me a time of rest, a time of reflection, a time of solitude. But what happened was I was still as busy as before. Even though the whole world was on lockdown, life still continued, and there were still other things that I had erected as idols in my heart, and I was still putting front and center, which is still on the priorities place, right? So these things were still front and center in my life, and because of that, my devotion started to suffer. So another thing I've learned this quarantine is that what you feed will grow, and what you starve will die. So if you're not intentional, so you have to be intentional. You have to be consistent. The reason why the numbers you have memorized in your head are memorized is because over and over and over and over and over again you've used them. So you have to be intentional. You have to say, see, I'm gonna die here. So until I got really intentional. So it's not just about like, oh, I'm making plans, oh, I'm doing this, oh, I'm doing that. I had to say, you know what, I'm going to get this done, right? Right. Next point, which is my last point, is that life is short. In this period, this pandemic period, I lost a couple of people. I lost about two different people who were important to me, and they died. One died of ulcer, and the person died, and it got me thinking a whole lot about how, tomorrow is not necessarily guaranteed. Like, there is no guarantee of tomorrow or whatever. Life is short, guys. Life is really short. And even if you didn't die, like, just think about the fact that who would have known? Like, if anybody had told you at the start of the year that there was going to be a pandemic that would cripple the whole world and bring the world to its knees, you wouldn't have believed it. Like, it would have been impossible. It would have been stupid to you, right? Who would have thought that at the start of this year there was going to be a pandemic and the year was going to be cancelled and whatsoever? Like, no one knew that, honestly. So it just reminded me of how fickle life is, right? How short it is. No, so you don't necessarily have to die to realize that, but it's just like, tomorrow is not honestly guaranteed. So there's no rush, honestly. It's two ways. Life being short can make you feel like you only live once and you have to rush it, right? But there's no rush. Everything it is you feel like you're running towards will come. Everything that you think that if it doesn't happen today, it won't happen, it will happen. Let me share a story. So there was this time, children's church, then for you to leave children's church and go to teenage church, you had to be like 13, right? But most of my friends started leaving when they were 12, and then most of my friends were like older than me. So when I was 12, all my 13-year-old friends had already left. They've gone to teenage church. They were now cooler, they were nicer, because teenage church was where it was at, right? So everybody was in teenage church and it was cool. Then this particular Sunday, I and my friend, my other friend that was in 12, that was 12 as well, we dressed up. We said, you know, we're going to teenage church. Everybody's doing it. So we went to teenage church. And then my mother, hey God, my mother now came into the church, mid-service, pulled me out by my ear announce to everybody that, yo, she's not old enough. If you see her here again, report her to me and pull me out. It was the most embarrassing thing that could happen to anybody, honestly. It was super embarrassing. But I say this to say now that, I mean, eventually I went to the teenage church. And I think back on that time now, and I think about, what was I rushing for? Like, why was I such in a hurry to grow up? Why was I such in a hurry to be an adult? Like, adulthood, we say all the time, is scam, but it's true. Like, I think about the fact, like, everything you're rushing for will come, and when it comes, you're just going to be like, okay, is this it? So whatever it is that you're hustling as if there's no tomorrow, think about the fact that in this quarantine has made me realize that everything is vanity, and without Jesus, it all has no meaning. So yeah, that's 5 things that I learned this quarantine. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening to the end of this. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share. It's important that you do. It's really important that you subscribe, and it's really important that you share, and it's really important that you like it. We've come to the end of the video. Share with me some of the things that this quarantine period has taught you. I know some people aren't on lockdown anymore, but you know, it's so good. But you know, share with me. I want to know, I want to hear, I want to like, I want to share with me, Sha. Okay, till next time. Kisses. I ate some of the banana bread, sorry, and I didn't touch the yogurt at all. This was left of my rice. I will get to it and finish it, but yeah, I had all my apples. Okay, no, -2, and I didn't take the tangerine. I'm almost done with my juice. I'm almost, you know, I got past halfway with this. Yeah, so till next time, guys.